Hey everybody, VP with Metaverse News 1 here, and before we go to the board and talk about what I've learned over this entire Illuvium Zero Alpha experience, I just kind of wanted to show you what the finished product, at least up until this point, looks like. You guys know I'm really playing 2 out of my 7 lands. This is Taiga Boreal, and I've cleaned it up all nice for you. And this is what it looks like. It's not super jam-packed with buildings. It's got a nice little aesthetic to it. Everything is where it needs to be. I have 3 scanners. And then 2 materials labs right there. Doesn't really matter where they are as long as you have some kind of power station near them to help with the efficiency. You're pretty good there. And then I kind of left this up just to show you what I have. On this land I have 3 carbon, 2 silicon. This one should be on. Sorry about that. And that's a converter. And then 1 hydrogen. That's what I was given. On both of these lands, I think I had every resource I needed. So I didn't have to play the whole, what would I do if I didn't have carbon game, but I will have to do that during Season 1. Maybe I should have focused on that this time around, but I didn't, so there it is. Now, what else? Oh, so the blueprints I was able to get. I was able to get Kuka, which, Taiga Boreal is the premier place for air alluvials, so that's not a surprise. And then I got Tiru. Now, if you look at the chart, we're not going to go to it now, but Tiru has the least probability of turning up in Taiga Boreal out of all the alluvials. It's a 1 out of 100. So that was interesting. But these are the 2 I got. I didn't get any more. But once I did get them, getting all of these different types went by pretty quick. Now, in terms of the facts, I don't even know if I got all these or not. I don't really care. They're pretty useless. And it's not even scrolling right now, so it's going slow. Yeah, so who cares? Blueprints are all we care about. And in 1 land, out of the possible 15, we were able to get 6. And we got this pretty quick. Like, I haven't gotten a new blueprint in weeks. So this all happened pretty darn fast. So what I normally do here is just I come in here, log in every day. Get my scans going. And then make up the difference with the carbon and the hydrogen. This thing here is literally Hitler. I hope they get rid of it. I think they are. That's fine. And then we just turn them back on. I really only need silicon for upgrades, which I almost never do. I don't need to upgrade the fuel facilities because I have plenty and I'm not using it. So again, this is not going to mimic the strategy I use once the full game comes out. It may not even really mimic the strategy I completely use in Season 1. But for what I was doing, this just made sense. And you'll notice I cleared out all the plants here just to make it look nice. You're going to see, like, later on, after a while, you don't even have to clear plants out. We'll talk about that in a moment, but let's go to the other land I was using, the free-to-play. I did not clear up anything on this. I haven't cleared plants out in about a week, but as you can see, they're not taking over the whole place. They kind of stop after a while, which is good. I thought they would be just, like, littered everywhere. Not the case. And I have so many tokens, like, I don't really need to clear them out anymore. That's just where we're at. But this land has only 1 scanner and 1 materials lab over here. And just do some maintenance here. And then I have 1 silicon, a bunch of carbon, and a bunch of hydrogen on this. It's a tier 3 land. This thing does nothing, at least not in alpha. And so with this one, I decided just to go with 1 and 1 and see what happened. So let's see if we got anything today. Nope. But this is what we were able to get here. 2 as well. Now, interesting enough, we also had Kuka. So we didn't really try to get any Kuka blueprints because we didn't need to. We already had them on Taiga. But we got Tatapi, which is who you're supposed to get on these Earth plots. And once, like I said, once we got the blueprint, we got all these pretty quick. Now, oddly enough, Kuka, who is an air alluvial, also has a 1 out of 100 chance to appear in Shard Bluff. So we were able to get the alluvial that only had a 1% chance of getting onto your land, but as far as the other ones go in the middle, we couldn't get any of them this entire time. Now that's not a really big deal. I have 7 lands. I have a feeling, if I was playing all 7, getting all 15 of these blueprints would have been very easy to do. So I'm not really worried about that. But just to show you what I was able to get in probably, what's it been, like 6 weeks time since we've been doing this, maybe more. And so then we just do that. And just fill in the difference. After a while, there's not much to do, which is good. This is where you want to be. Clear out the converters. And then we're good. Again, early game, it's going to be an absolute grind. You're going to see me lose my mind during Season 1, trying to get everything up to this point right here. But once we get there, we're good. Now, are there some things that I would change? Especially about this land here? Yes, absolutely. I don't think the free-to-play is going to be playable during Season 1. So I won't have to worry about all this nonsense, but there are some things I would have done a little bit different here, and there are a lot of takeaways that I had. So let's go to the board and talk about them. So let's not forget what we're after here. We want blueprints over everything because we feel that that's going to be where the highest upside is. I don't think it's going to be in fuel, especially when you have nothing but Tier 1 and Tier 2 lands. I'm hoping just to have enough fuel to build the things I want and play the game the way I want to play it. Because what I think the second biggest moneymaker is going to be is the alluvials themselves. And that is if the game does a good enough job of making them difficult enough to obtain. If they're too easy to obtain, they're not going to be worth anything, even the good ones. I mean, they might be worth a little something, but it's not going to be worth the time you put in to get them and try to sell them on the marketplace and hope they sell and hope somebody else doesn't come in and undercut you. Yeah. There's still a lot to be seen here. I do have faith in the team to get this right. And even if they don't get it right away, I have faith in them to make it right later. So if you hear me complain about anything, it's just to complain about what's happening right now. And I don't think the team are idiots. I don't think the devs are idiots. I think they're going to take these things and fix them. And I think the finished product is going to look a lot different than what we see right now. What else do I have here? Oh, yeah. Everything we're getting to, I'm not getting these things just to flip them. I have faith that this game is going to be big down the line. What percentage chance would I put on it? I don't know, but enough to where I'm going to go ahead and invest. And I see the asymmetrical upside to being early and to keeping these things, especially the Season 1, First Edition, whatever you want to call it, type things, for maybe 3, 4, 5 years down the line when they're actually worth a lot more. Whatever strategy you want to employ, that's fine. But if you want to know what I'm doing and what my main objective on this channel is going to be in regards to Illuvium, this is it. So before we break things down further, a friendly reminder to please like and subscribe, or at the very least hit the thumbs up. We're still a very new channel. So thanks in advance. Moving on. We're going to breeze through this because you just saw it. I have 7 lands. I only played 2 of them. This is going to change once Season 1 comes out. I'll be playing all 7 and losing my mind, and you'll get to witness all of it. The free-to-play was one of them. There was a Tier 3 with only 1 scanner. And my Taiga Boreal land with my Tier 2 had 3 scanners on it. And so here is just the beginning of some of the things that I learned. First off, let's just get the marketplace part out of the way. This is the one thing that, the one piece of the puzzle that delayed everything. I mean, we would be about a month into Season 1 right now if it wasn't for this one thing. Curious, right? But look, it is what it is. It's cheap to build. It serves its purpose. I might need it. I might not. I played with it on one of my other lands that I didn't use. And it's exactly what I thought it would be. You know, people are complaining that fuel takes a long time to transport. Well, it does right now. And let's hope it doesn't stay that way. That's going to be a problem. But I'm hoping not to have to use it hardly at all. So it's cool that it's there. Having it there is better than not having it there. But I don't really anticipate having to use it a whole lot. So that's that. Now, as far as plants go, plants don't get in the way. We thought it might screw up efficiency if you had a plant growing next to something, and that just was not the case. I had plants growing all around my scanner. It stayed right at the same efficiency it was when I built it. So that's good. Plants are nothing but a bonus because they give you those coins that make everything go faster. So yeah, I'm going to harvest all of my plants early on so I can build up those coins. But after that, you know, once I get to a place to where I'm at like right now, I just let them grow. And if for some reason I would need the coins, which I'm never going to need, at least not for Season 1 after a certain point, I can chop them down and get those coins. But I saw in Discord people are freaking out over plants a lot. There's really no reason to. They don't get in the way, and it's just free coins for you, and you don't even have to do anything to them after a while. Okay, what else? Yeah, for Season 1, there's no need to fuel max. Like I said, I saw people building these megapolises of fuel and things to maximize fuel. That's fine if you want to have fun with it and just see how high you can build it up. That's cool. But strategy-wise, like I said, if you're a Tier 1, Tier 2 land holder like me, I don't see a need to do this. Maybe later on, once you have everything else exactly the way you want it, then it's probably a good idea to start turning to, you know, bigger sources of fuel. Because why not, right? If some is good, more is better. You know, you can sell the excess, do whatever you want. But definitely for what's coming up, you know, I just want to have enough fuel to do the things I need, and then anything after that's just bonus. And on that note, when it comes to fuel or resources, you really only need one converter. Sometimes with fuel, if it's maybe, let's say it's Krypton, and you don't have any Krypton mines available on your land, then maybe it wouldn't be the worst thing to have two, but that's all you need. I saw some people with, you know, like 8 or 9 of these things on their land. It's really unnecessary, you know, especially for Season 1. And this is going to be a bit of a contested topic, but I've just come to find that roads aren't super important. They should be there because it does make things go faster, but I would focus on getting buildings together that need to be kind of smushed together for efficiency's sake, and then build the road around it afterwards. You know, one of the things that's not on the board here that I should have added is that I really should have been more liberal with those coins, those speed up coins. You know, I should have taken them almost down to 0 every time and just maxed those things out. Because there's always going to be more, because you're always going to get more plants. And it just eliminates the dire need for roads around a building every single time you build one. It was just more of a luxury than it was a necessity. And I'm sure I'm going to get some flack in the comments for that. That's fine. But this is what I've learned, and this is what I feel to be important. And then 2 more things to kind of finish it up here. Let's get the cursor out of the way. So our strategy from the beginning was the right way to go. Resources are pretty much the linchpin for everything else you do. And upgrading your resource facilities is really the primary objective almost all the time. Because, man, I'm telling you, and playing that Tier 3 land, I found this out more than I did with the Tier 2 land. You are just so stuck in the mud if you have resource facilities that aren't at a high enough level to do the things you want to do. And it's such a pain in the ass because you just feel like you're playing catch up the entire time. So going forward, no matter what type of land I'm on or what it has, you're going to see me really focus on resources above everything else going forward. Now, I understand you have to upgrade the Nexus and the engineering workshop and stuff like that before you do anything and upgrade your store. That stuff's obligatory, right? But you are going to want your resource facilities at max efficiency at all times, right up to the point where you can't do anything more. And only at that point are you going to want to upgrade the Nexus and your storage facilities and things like that. Because especially on that Taiga Boreal land, I had everything perfect. I was never lacking for resources. Anything I ever did, I could just replace it with the resources that I had already gotten done farming, and they were just waiting to be collected. That's exactly where I want to be. But I think the fastest road to get to that point is to make sure your resources are always at max efficiency, at least as far as you can take it, before moving on to anything else. And the other main thing I learned that I did not suspect coming in beforehand is more scanners the better. Scanners are really everything here. Materials labs are nice, but I went for weeks without getting any blueprints. And if you don't have any blueprints, the materials labs have nothing to do. So I don't know the exact ratio. I think that's one of the things we're going to figure out in Season 1. But I am going to be loading up almost every bit of free space I can with scanners, even if they don't have great efficiency. Now, am I going to take a scanner that's operating 100% efficiency and put another scanner right next to it and screw it up like that? Probably not, but any open or open-ish land I can find, there's going to be a scanner going there. And this is the main strategy I'm going to take into Season 1 that wasn't there before, and I'm going to see how this thing works. Because when we have to answer the question, are more scanners the best way to go, or less scanners that all have maximum efficiency the best way to go? I think the answer is this right here. Just stuff that land with as many scanners as you can. Because once you have those blueprints in your possession, again, remember, I'm probably not even going to sell these things. I might not even make skins for a year, 2 years, and I probably won't even sell the blueprints until year 3, 4, or 5. So once you have, the mock-ups for the blueprints in your possession, it's just a matter of finalizing it with the materials labs. And you can do that whenever you want. So I might just build, one materials lab on my property and just leave it at that. What's the rush? Once your scanner finally gives you an atlas, you have it, and you will eventually be able to turn it into a blueprint. But there's no real rush to do that. Now you might be saying, well, I want to get it out to the market and sell it real quick. Yeah, okay, I can understand that, but I don't think any of these blueprints in Season 1, even though we're early, are going to be worth anything. I don't think they're going to be worth anything in 4 or 5 years. I just don't. There's too many people that have access to it. There's nothing rare about them, and there probably isn't ever going to be anything rare about them. I hope I'm wrong. But I can't see myself being wrong here. I don't think the really good ones are going to come until much later, probably when the full Illuvium Zero game is ready to go, however long that takes. But I am still grateful for Season 1 coming out because we get to practice our strategies and max those out for when it is actually showtime and things get very, very real. But fear not, while we wait for Season 1 to come out, this channel is going to have a lot more material, so keep it tuned in, and I will see you down the road.